The lights do not always flash. I go to Walmart all the time, and they never flash like this.
All right, folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. Going to talk about some awesome stuff. Hopefully you got to check out the review of the movie Homestead, and saw last night's video about everybody freaking out over a balloon. And tonight we're going to talk about basically Putin challenging America to a bit of a nuclear duel, possibly using the city of Kiev as a, I guess, prize, or I don't even know how to put it, a testing point. So we're going to talk about that, and then we are going to talk about the bird flu and what is going on with that, with Mr. Newsom putting out the emergency directive tomorrow, or yesterday. So before we get started, let's of course do our mandatory drone. It's not mandatory, but it's just interesting, still out there. So this is a military guy that is at a base and says this is what he's seen.
You've seen the drones over the base. What do they look like?
Yeah. So there's different types. There's ones that look like kind of like quadcopters, but they have more than 4 blades. It looks like there's 6 to 8 blades on them, and then there's ones that are fixed wing, so coordinated that they did one night that they did all of them at the same time, all within 3 minutes each other.
All the military bases at the same time?
At the exact same time.
So as you can see, or hear, still questions. Is it foreign? Is it alien? Is it us? Is it our own people? Well, there's a ban now going into place, and at least 17 U.S. military bases near Chinese-owned farmland are seeing an increase in the drone activity. So McCall in the government, he says, he's a representative. He says, my judgment is drones over the military sites are most likely coming from China. So, well, the FAA has banned drones in parts of New Jersey, threatening deadly force for imminent safety threats, according to ABC News. So they've gone from being these harmless, nothing to worry about, to an acute threat. Government is basically trying to flood us with all kinds of different information. There's a lot of people think that they're flooding us with different forms of information to kind of keep us on our toes and to muddy the waters. It does kind of seem that way, but we still don't really know. And, all of this is interesting. So supposedly there are suspicious amounts of iodine that are being purchased in North America. I can't confirm that. That is an unverified source. Of course, you need... there's potassium iodide, I believe it is. That is a radioactive thyroid uptake. It's a thing you pop if you're ever in a nuclear event. You take the stuff, and any person worth their salt that's a prepper should have it. So some people think that this is a trigger for the big conflict, or possibly a false Freddy. Some people think that this thing is to push drone legislation, UAS, UAP. The government is definitely cashing in on the incidents of the UAS, UAP, drone, UFO, whatever you want to call them. But there's a lot of people that think this is going to be a false Freddy. And supposedly there is a second radioactive material event, and the first one happened on December 2nd, and they said, hey, this thing is a medical thing. Of course, my theory of them sniffing for something. Another theory is that they've seen these strange looking drones, whatever they are, if they're foreign or alien, and the fixed wing ones that are going up that are compliant with the FAA, that everybody is seeing is basically them trying to find these things. But of course, it's all in the protection of the public from insidious threats. So, what is the second threat of the radioactive material? So we have assets all over that are supposedly watching and looking for something that has gone into the port of Newark. First one, of course, is the medical thing. Second one is something new. So there is a mayor of New Jersey, or maybe even a couple of them, but on private calls, they're being told, that supposedly there's a briefing going on in Congress about this threat, and they think that there might be something in the port of Newark. Now, of course, this is all unverified. I can't, verify any of this stuff, and nobody knows. I'm just trying to make heads or tails, but we don't know what's going on. Trump evidently avoided Bedminster this last week, from what I understand. There's a lot of going on, and so the Port New Jersey mayor is saying that there's supposedly a threat that's come through the port of Newark. So that's what we know right now. So what other threats are there? Well, Ukraine struck a Russian territory with at least 13 missiles and 84 drones. Triggered a fire in an oil refinery. This all happened in Rostov region, and it's been burning for hours from Wednesday into Thursday. Russia has been really advancing. They've been making a major push going westward, and now it seems that the Kiev regime is really starting to get desperate and do everything they can. They are trying to make it so they have backing from Western sources. Kaya Kallas, I believe her name is. I forget which. I want to say Estonia. I might be wrong, but she was a former PM, and now she's in the Euro Council. I forget exactly what her title is, but she's a higher up, Kallas. And she says basically we shouldn't try to get peace with Russia. We should take them on. Kind of came out. I'll have that on the crisis report later today. But Putin is saying that we should have a bit of a test. And what is that test? He's saying that we should take the city of Kiev and put all of our air defenses in that city. And he'll start chucking Noreshniks, and we'll see who wins. Now, I don't know about you, but, Putin does a big year-end Q&A thing. He says a lot. He talked for like 4 or 5 hours. There will be a retaliation. Russia will do something to get back. There's just a slow tit-for-tat escalation always going on. I know that he's pretty angry over what's happened in Syria. Supposedly they are removing all of their people from Hamaim Air Base and Tartus, the naval base, and they're pushing them up into Libya. And they're going to take over there, so they'll still have bases on the Med, but it will be not in Syria anymore. It'll be in Libya. So, still angry about that. So I don't know about you, but taking these Noreshniks and chucking them at a major city and seeing if our air defenses can stop them is not exactly the kind of contest I want to get into. So, California. Yesterday, a new emergency declaration came out basically saying that they're going to be able to put in these state empowerment. It's a declaration. It's an emergency declaration. They can now start to take emergency action and do whatever they need to do to handle something like the avian flu. So, raw milk in California is supposedly getting people sick. It is being recalled. A lot of preppers like to drink raw milk and create raw milk, and they're saying that the avian flu is suddenly all up in this stuff in California. Also, there's been illnesses in Louisiana. There's been illnesses in, I believe, Iowa, California, Kansas. Louisiana case was an infected person who was 65 or older than, and was in contact with sick and dead birds in a backyard flock. So Canada has also got its hat in the game. British Columbia, a guy was hospitalized with severe case of bird flu. So you've got Canada, you've got Louisiana, you've got Kansas, you've got California, and all of this stuff is going at a much more quicker pace. Health officials are saying that the bird flu is mainly in the animal population, but they're worried that this sucker might be jumping over into the human population. And so they don't have any documentation that this is spreading from person to person, but it is spreading from animal to person. And at some point, it could get documented that it's gone person to person. At that point, the avian flu has gone into something that our government could very well kind of freak out about and be a redux of 2020. So, I don't know. We shall see. So a lot of fun stuff going on. You've got old Putin saying let's have a nuclear contest over Kiev. You've got this whole thing going on with the bird flu. And, of course, you've got the drones and potentially another problem in Newark Port and our bases having coordinated drone-type dances, I guess, above them, according to some people on the ground. Keep prepping, folks. That's all I can say. Just keep prepping. God bless. Stack, stock, stick to the plan. Keep your head in the swivel and your powder dry. Thanks for coming by, PrepperNow. Please hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, and we will see you on the next one. Love our members here. If you want to join, it's $2 a month. Subscribe Star and Locals are $3 a month. Put out information there and all kinds of other stuff. And we'd love to see you in the community. God bless.